Okay, my name's Dudley Roberts. I'm Creative Director at Display Plan.
So we're here at Impact 23. How have you found it so far?
I found it really interesting. It's been good to got up and done a little talk with Rory from Mars. We put some nice points across. Some of the things I've got from the whole of the show is the whole kind of recyclability or lack of some of the materials that go into the displays. Obviously, getting it right at the design stage is pretty good. We're already all over that. But using single materials in the actual construction of some of the display components is critical. So I think we kind of knew that, but it's good that the education's flowing down to lots of other people.
It's interesting to sort of see different people today from different aspects of the whole industry from start to finish.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see almost the waste disposal guy chatting about how learning from him and taking that right back to the creative stage.
Yes, and that's kind of our approach. We try to start at the end and work backwards. So we're trying to not set up any kind of problems for anyone else down the line from the creative stage. So we're trying to take into account all of the steps, everything from the packaging, the life cycle of the unit, all of the efficiencies that you're going to get from it, plus end of life and what you do to get that recycled. So yeah, we need to talk to them more because I think it's going to glean some more good points that maybe we can incorporate right at the beginning, so no problems down the line.
And interestingly, again, coming from the Wrigley side, certainly, the mention of steel and some materials that sort of I think a lot of people have steered away from recently. And correct, some of these are actually potentially, because of the lifespan you can get from them,
Well, you can
use for it.
Yeah, mild steel is a good material. It's easily recyclable, and it's one of those kind of areas within waste streams, within specific markets, that's already got a good structure to it. Plus, it's got a value, so people want it. So that's good. Some of the other materials that you could start experimenting with, again, this is where we need to make sure it can actually go into something, whether it be organic or whatever else, whether it can actually be recycled. And that's one of the big questions, I suppose. It's still coming up. It's like, is a recycled material a good material or not? What's the embedded CO2 within that material to turn it from something back into something else? That's the kind of the big questions that are coming up now. And what's the life cycle assessment on that? Is it more? Is it less? Take that into consideration.
Again, like you said, you're on stage, you're sharing things that you've done as a business and as a creative person.
Yeah.
It feels like this is potentially like a community. This is maybe, I know there was last year and this year, but it feels like this is the start, but this has to spread.
Yes, and we're doing that because I'm part of the Popeye Sustainability Council, and we all come together and talk about these issues and try to move forward or express what's happening within the industry and try and make positive change. So that has kind of come through today. And yeah, part of the presentation is the thinking that we're already implementing. We've been doing it a long time now. And as Steve has said, Steve Lister, he said it's like in our DNA as Display Plan. So all our designers are thinking this way from the start. It's great. But it also goes back into, like I say, Sustainability Council, being able to talk about what we're doing moves it all along.